Let's go. All right, let's do this. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris, the Candyman. Follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. Thanks for watching. Welcome in. We're live. It's a late night show. Still getting that schedule figured out. Today's agenda, we're talking Best Ball Mania 4. Since the last time I went live, the tournament's gone live. We had the NFL draft last Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and the puppy actually came out today. What a surprise. And because of how fast Best Ball Mania 4 has been filling up. So, cool stuff. Oh my gosh. I just realized I still have this up. Boop. Okay. Let's go ahead to the scene. So, the agenda for today, talk about Best Ball Mania 4. Really excited for that. Get some of those streams going. Talk about the puppy. I'm going to do a puppy stream. I'm going to do a draft right now live coming up. A little bit of update. So I was in Tampa checking out the Florida beaches a little bit over the last week. So I've been out of here. So just getting back into the garage. Going to set up a stream schedule for May. So look out for that on my Twitter. And yeah, let's get into this draft pretty soon. Really psyched. Been doing a ton of draft research, a lot of prep. And this will be my fourth puppy of the day. Well, let's get into it. What else did I want to say? Oh, yeah. The Texans coming out and drafting CJ Stroud and Will Anderson. So the Texans get a Will. I kind of predicted that. I thought they might go Will Levis. I was hoping they wouldn't, and I didn't expect them to get Will Anderson, so I'm trading up to that third overall pick was pretty sweet. I'm pumped for it. Again, I got that official draft cap right here, Texans official cap. Pretty cool. Let's get into a draft. I'm actually going to be in Dallas this weekend too, just for a day or so, but don't know what I'll be able to get into in between these plans I've already got. Going to a wedding in Dallas. Oh, I need to check Twitter real quick before I launch into this draft. Let's make sure this is popping off. We're live. We're live. We're live. Okay. Cool. Let's do it. Let's get into one of these drafts. Really excited. I'm just going to talk through my thoughts. Let's see if we can get one to go. Cool. Let's see how long it takes to fill. It's a pretty random time to be drafting. And we're 3 minutes into this stream. We're just getting started. We're drafting the puppy. It's the first official day. Actually, it's the second day the puppy's been open. It opened this morning. Let's see. What spot are we going to get? 8 more people to fill. 7-6. Okay, people are joining quickly. This is going to go. Sweet. So I'm going to talk through my process, my thoughts, my strategy, all the things that I think of when I go through one of these drafts. We'll see how this goes doing the fast draft in real time, live and streaming it. Officially, I think this is the first draft that I've streamed live. So pumped for that. And hope it goes good. We'll see. I'll be posting the results on Twitter, talking about it this weekend. I'm sure I'll be getting some more puppy drafts in over the weekend, getting some BBM 4 drafts in. Really psyched for that. Cool. And it's filling 5 more. Yeah, so more about the draft. I'm pretty high on this rookie class. I've done a lot of rookie research, a lot of prep going into this. I've got my notes on my phone. I thought about pulling it up, some reminders, which of those rookies I wanted to target in late rounds, things like that. Just overall strategy. And I don't know. I've been hearing a lot about Josh Downs lately and thinking about pairing up a Josh Downs with Anthony Richardson. That could be really interesting, not necessarily for like season long totals, but if we start thinking about individual games, and if they kind of have a late season chemistry, I could see the two rookies coming together later in the season and having a lot of success. Still needing 5 spots to fill this draft. So 1:22 a.m. Central Time, not necessarily a great time to get in a puppy live. Let's see if it can fill. In the meantime, I'm going to talk over some more of these rookies. So getting into my rankings, my pre-draft rankings, I do it every year. I didn't publish them this year, but I do it for my own kind of note taking and look back to see like where my thoughts were. And so I take a lot of notes in my phone. I put together a lot of different things on these players. And okay, waiting for 2 more people to fill up this draft. And pretty much the biggest surprise for me was the perception that Stroud was going to fall, and he never did, right? He went second overall to the Texans. People were like disparaging him, talking him down. I always had him as going over as the second quarterback in this class. Another surprise was obviously where Jahmyr Gibbs ends up going overall to the Lions in the first round. So that was pretty surprising. And I thought it was a great landing spot. Like just all the things that happened because of that, and the trade of DeAndre Swift to the Eagles, all the implications, really cool. Okay, so the draft's starting. We've got the 6 overall spot. Let's see if we know anyone in this draft. Off the bat, not necessarily any names I'm super familiar with, but we've got this 6th spot. Let's see if we can maybe you can get Bijan here. It'd be fun. I haven't gotten any Bijan yet in these drafts. Who else is here? Okay. So yeah, let's see. Draft is starting soon. I'm gonna check out the board. It's so hard for me to see this on the tiny screen. 6, the 6th spot. Jeez, I might have to pop this out. The contrast is just not good enough for me, but I'll put it on my own screen for now. Over here, maybe I can zoom in. Oh, shoot. Oh, that was a bad idea. Okay, so first off the board, I'm going to close out of that. I don't like how that looks. The interface is so much better on the phone than it is for desktop. I'll just say that. The contrast is so bad for me right now. I can't see anything. Love it. We're going to make the best of it. Yep. Draft board. Okay. Candyman's up. Bijan or Kelsey? It's a puppy. I'm really tempted to go Kelsey here, and we're taking Kelsey. All right, so kind of hoping I was going to go Bijan, but Kelsey's there. So at 6, we'll take our tight end 1 on Kansas City. So we'll look to come back for some LA Chargers. We'll look to come back for some Las Vegas Raiders. And maybe even, okay, who goes next? Bijan goes next, of course. Diggs goes after that. Who do I like coming back here? Travis Kelce. Obviously, potential to stack up with Patty Mahomes. We'll see how this room is feeling, though, in terms of whether or not the quarterbacks will start going on the after the turn, because we could wait on that, take a receiver, see what we like. So 6 was our first pick. Next up, we got 19. 6, 19. Okay, CeeDee Lamb goes. Austin Eckler goes number 9. CeeDee Lamb goes number 10. 11 is A.J. Brown. So now we're at the turn. It goes Garrett Wilson and Amon-Ra St. Brown. 5 picks away. Jalen Hurts goes. First quarterback off the board. Number 14 overall. Then Devontae Adams goes. Is it catching up? Yeah. I'm going to refresh it and come back in. Cool. So some guys I like here, obviously Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave would be nice second round picks. We've got running backs staring us right in the face. No one's pulled the trigger yet. Obviously we could reach on Patrick Mahomes. For the sake of this tournament, I'm willing to do it as I think about building a team with high correlation and stacking up. Okay, but let's hold off. When we look, we've got some time. Our next pick coming back, there's a chance Mahomes there. Yeah, there's a chance that he could be there. So we'll risk it. I'm going to take Waddle. I love Waddle, so I'm taking Waddle here. Get our first wide receiver on the Dolphins. We'll look to bring that back with some Patriots, maybe some New York Giants. Sorry, Jets. I always say that. New York Jets. And also some Bills. I like bringing in the AFC East teams. Just that division. I'm really high on that division going into next year. Obviously, it revolves around the Bills and the Dolphins. I don't want to sleep on the Patriots, though. And the Jets getting Aaron Rodgers. That's a big deal, too. Okay, so we're waiting for it to come back around. And when Jalen Waddle, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes goes, we don't get the Mahomes stack. That's okay. We get T. Higgins, Tony Pollard, Smith, Breece Hall, Derrick Henry. So what are we thinking here? Ramondre goes. Yeah, this is where I expect all the running backs to be going. I like it. There's a really, really, really slim chance we get Olave here. We also can get, Mark Andrews is here. Obviously don't want him. I'm cool with Josh Jacobs here. We can get that run back. Oh, and he goes too. Yep. So Olave and Jacobs. This is where I think it's interesting, and we want to go Lamar Jackson here or Debo. I'm fine going Debo Samuel here. So we had Debo as our second wide receiver. Started out Travis Kelce with the 6th pick. The 19th pick, we go Jalen Waddle. The 30th pick, it's a little bit of a reach for Debo, but I like it. I think he can, when he's healthy, provide a really pivotal role, scoring role in this offense. So scoring opportunities, red zone opportunities, high scoring offense. And we'll see how it works out in the build, the fit that we've got right now. 2 receivers and a tight end. So far, pretty good target share in this group. We've got a supposed wide receiver 1 on his team, Jalen Waddle, wide receiver 2 on his, although he brings in a pretty sweet target share. I remember seeing some analysis on wide receiver duos, and obviously Miami was in that top 3. So I forget the exact number, but like 20+% target share for Jalen Waddle. It's good enough. And in that high-powered, high-scoring offense. Plus, I'm envisioning stacking this Dolphins team a little bit later on. And the 49ers are also a pretty good team. I can get some value later on stacking them. So I don't hate it. I don't hate the start to this at all. The board has kind of gone some interesting ways, but this is the first Kelce exposure I've gotten in this tournament, and I really want to lean into that. So on the board, after I took Deebo Samuel, Mark Andrews went next. Pretty much an obvious pick. But I had Kelce, didn't want to take another tight end. Then goes Travis Etienne. It's fine. Lamar Jackson, I consider taking Lamar. DK Metcalf goes a bit after that. Then Najee Harris. After Najee went Ken Walker. And then on the turn, JSN goes 37th overall. Wow, really leaning into that Seattle. Let's go see who players we want, because it's coming back around quickly. And I'm thinking we just had Keenan Allen go. Yeah, I'm taking Gibbs here. It's time to draft him. So I don't think it's too early. It's pick 43. RB1, Jahmyr Gibbs on Detroit. So we get another division. We get the NFC North. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, NFC North. And that's another division I think I'm high on. I want some exposure to. Vikings, Lions, even the Packers. I don't know. We'll see. Packers. I might want to lean into the Packers run game a little bit. Maybe not their passing offense as much. Definitely the Bears too. Okay, so it's coming back around. We see what the picks have been. After I took Jahmyr Gibbs, it was Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore, DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Herbert, Jerry Jeudy, Miles Sanders. Man, saying everyone's name, like I've said these names a million times in my head, and I've said these names a million times out loud even, but when you have to say them one after another in succession, so easy to get the names messed up. So forgive me if I say any of the names wrong. Oh, what's going on? A little bit of lag there. Always good when it's lagging right before my pick. Last pick we went Jahmyr Gibbs. Next up I've got pick 54. It's gonna be my 5th pick. I'm thinking wide receiver here. Almost undoubtedly wide receiver here. No one watching the stream gonna snipe me, will they? I don't think so. I think we're good. I think Christian Watson, Terry McLaurin, either one of those guys, I'm happy. So let's just stick with those guys. Actually, I can go Pittman here. I could reach a little bit on Pittman. I don't think I need to though. I could, because then I could go Anthony Richardson later. And we need an upside quarterback right now. We don't really have a lot left. So the pick goes in. It's Christian Kirk after TJ Hawkinson. I'm going to take Christian Watson. I love Christian Watson here. I was just saying I was going to go Green Bay run game, but I actually have been taking a fair amount of Christian Watson as my 3rd wide receiver. I don't mind it at all. So wide receiver 3, Christian Watson. Welcome to the squad. One thing I really liked about Christian Watson and Deebo Samuel is their ability to create an additional point floor with their run game. The rushing attack attempts, touchdowns. Christian Watson had 2 rushing touchdowns last year. Added bonus on top, right? So I really like how that fits in here. And then we've also got a run back now with our running back and our 3rd wide receiver. So we've got Green Bay, we got Minnesota, and we got Chicago potentially to add. I was blanking earlier. It's the Chargers, the Raiders, the Chiefs, and the Broncos. I haven't been drafting a ton of Broncos, honestly. I need to increase my Broncos exposure at some point. All right, let's look at the board. Since we took Christian Watson, there's been George Kittle, Dalvin Cook, Terry McLaurin, Aaron Jones, Kyle Pitts, followed by a turn pick of Dameon Pierce and George Pickens. Up next, our pick is in 5 picks away. I'm thinking we go wide receiver again, unless the perfect running back falls to us. And who would that be? I'm on top of my head. So for pick 67, our 6th pick, after that, my next pick is 78, right? 78 with my 7th pick. We're 2 picks away. I don't really have anyone to stack up with on Trevor Lawrence, so I'm not interested in him going quarterback here. I'm not interested in Deshaun Watson necessarily. I'm trying to think back, where would I stack Deshaun Watson later? Could I do it at tight end with David Njoku? Could I do it at a late wide receiver pick, potentially? Okay, so who went? It was Brandon Ayuk and Mike Evans. Dobbins went. Cam Akers went. If I wanted a running back, well, I don't. So, I don't know. I can wait there. It's easy to wait. Now it's just Godwin, Burks, Lockett. Does Lockett play into what I want? Yeah, Lockett plays in. We're going Lockett. Lockett in. I've been drafting a lot of Lockett. I talk about drafting Lockett. So getting him there with pick 67, I don't hate it at all. I don't think that's too early. I think that's just right. I think you can get Tyler Lockett a few rounds after you get DK Metcalf. And, we're talking about who can score their, booming ceiling output on any given week. And Tyler Lockett is one of those players that can do that. So we got our 4th wide receiver in the 6th round. Our next pick's coming up in 7 picks away. Is our 7th pick 78 overall. We just added a Seahawk as our wide receiver 4. Nice little run back with our 2nd wide receiver, Deebo Samuel. Potentially, they could play each other in their schedule in the playoff weeks, 15, 16, or 17. At least they're going to be playing each other during the regular season. I'm buying into the NFC West. And I really am. And that gives me another target. So now I've got, how many targets do I have for quarterbacks that are viable? Tyler Lockett gives me Geno Smith, right? Way back there at the end of whatever round that's going to be. We've also got a chance to go for Jordan Love a little bit later even. Maybe 2 guys we want to get. We could go Trey Lance late. We could go Brock Purdy. I'm a big Brock Purdy fan. Big Brock Purdy fan. Yeah. And I don't think I'm going to take Deshaun Watson here either. I had the option to take him earlier. We skipped on Trevor Lawrence as well. Okay. 2 picks away. Could go running back. I think we're fine on receiver in the immediate term. But who's here that we like? We've got a run back we like. We like Jordan Addison a lot. We don't necessarily need Deontay Johnson. Marquise Brown could be nice. 10 seconds to pick. Rachaad White is there. Let's go Jordan Addison. We're doing it. We took our 5th wide receiver by the 7th round. I kind of wanted to go running back there, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger on Rachaad White. Something about the Buccaneers just doesn't do it for me. I don't want to buy into that story in that conference, the NFC South. I don't really. If I look at my team, I don't think I have any NFC South players. So inviting Rachaad White, while he could be a great season-long player, I'm trying to think of these game matchups and these tournament playoff weeks 15, 16, 17, especially in a small field, less than 200 players. I think it was 115 or 150 players in the finals in week 17. I'll have to double check that. The rules just came out today. I think it was 115. It's so tiny. It goes from like 2,000 people to 115 people week 16 to week 17. So we went wide receiver 5. It's a run back. We get another player in the NFC North. I like where this is going. So far, the team through 7 rounds is Travis Kelce, Jalen Waddle, Deebo Samuel, Jahmyr Gibbs, Christian Watson, Tyler Lockett, and Jordan Addison. I like where we're going with this team. Really solid. At some point, we got to get a quarterback. Some point real soon, actually. Let's see. We're 5 picks away. Our next pick is pick 91. Followed by pick 102. A long break after that. 5 picks away right now. Let's look at the board. Who's been going? So after I took Jordan Addison, we had Marquise Brown go. Actually, a pretty good pick there. Considered Marquise Brown. Also had Evan Ingram and Brandon Cooks. Somehow I don't have NFC East players. Do I? No, I don't really. So I'm not really buying into that storyline. Ooh, someone took Dak just before the Brandon Cooks owner. Quentin Johnson goes. That's someone I was looking at for sure. James Conner's gone. That's a player I wanted. How can we make this work? Any KC, 1 pick away. Got Buffalo. I can go James Cook here. I think I either go James Cook, Dotson, Daniel Jones, naked could be pretty good. Pick 91. Go late on that. James Cook. Am I buying into James Cook? Yeah, I'm buying into James Cook. I've been drafting a lot of James Cook about that price range. I usually do it because I like how he pairs up well with the Dolphins players, and I've been taking a lot of Dolphins as I tend to do. Last year, I went hard on the Dolphins, matched him up with Devin Singletary. It didn't pay off a ton because Singletary didn't impress me. Didn't have a lot of scoring opportunities. And so, but in theory, it was a good kind of run back. Singletary taking up all the touchdowns in that Bills offense. We'll see if James Cook can do it even better. I got some value on him there. Pick 91, not the best, but it's decent. I like it, RB2, and it's a good run back with our Jalen Waddle, so keep that in mind. Also gives us a running back, evens us out. I don't want to get lost here. I like to take a few running backs in this range. I think I'll kind of double dip here for a while with 5 wide receivers. I'm chilling. I can take a quarterback or running back at value anytime I want. I considered taking Daniel Jones there. If he continues to fall and Daniel Jones is still there with my pick 102, I'll definitely really have to consider taking him, as well as Kirk Cousins, Perk Thuggins, as he should now be known. After his last season and all those away games of him flying around with the chains on. So anyways, let's look at what's going on. Daniel Jones is falling. This could work out perfectly for me. There's only one team in front of me right now that needs a quarterback. The next guy's got 2, another team's got 1, so odds are they're fine. If Daniel Jones is gone, I'm going to come back and get Charbonnet, a player I'm not afraid to draft in any room. Also goes nice with my Tyler Lockett. I wouldn't be afraid to take Zay Flowers. Get a little exposure there. Don't need a tight end, that's for sure. So quarterback goes. Daniel Jones is gone. Do I want to go Kirk Cousins? I don't think I do. Not purely with Jordan Addison. It's not enough to get me excited about Kirk Cousins alone. 20 seconds to make our pick. Who just went? So we had Brian Robinson, Alexander Madison go, Aaron Rodgers, and Daniel Jones go. I'm taking Zach Charbonnet. Love him. Boom. Easy pick. Dang, if I could have thought about that for a half second longer, I might have taken Devon Achane, but we'll see. Maybe he'll be there. My next pick, highly doubtful. We get another Seahawk to add. Like I said, we had Tyler Lockett. Now my third running back, also a Seahawk. Pretty sweet. Cornering the market there. Again, my team is no quarterback yet, but we're only through 9 rounds. It's about that time. I kind of wanted to get a quarterback, but I haven't had one fall to me yet, and I'm not willing to reach on a quarterback that doesn't stack and fit into my narrative of the team that I'm building here. But for running back, I've got Jahmyr Gibbs, James Cook, Zach Charbonnet. Personally, I'm a fan. First year and second year running back, sign me up. Okay. We've also got a nice little interplay there of the AFC East. Then we've got another that's Seattle. I don't know what I was thinking. But what I meant was the interplay of the AFC East with James Cook and then Jalen Waddle there. And I want to build on that. I want to continue. And the NFC West momentum we're building is between our running back 3, Zach Charbonnet, wide receiver 4, Tyler Lockett, and Deebo Samuel, of course, wide receiver 2. Oh, man, it is hot in the garage tonight. It feels like a summer night. That's for sure. I'm sitting on this uncomfortable chair. I'm balancing on a balance ball right now. I thought it would be more comfortable than the wooden chair. Gotta do something about this setup. Okay, almost our pick. 3 picks away. This is where I would consider again Kirk Thuggins, a.k.a. Kirk Cousins, a.k.a. Kirk, Captain Kirk. Kyler Murray goes, definitely a player I was also considering taking here. Would play right into my NFC West thing that I got going on, although I don't have any Cardinals specifically yet, and I did pass up on Marquise Brown earlier, so maybe not the best play here. Kirk Cousins is there, but I can't do it. I don't want him. I don't want Kirk Cousins. Doesn't have enough upside for me. Not in this tournament, not in this format, not without Justin Jefferson, not without Hawk, not without Dalvin Cook. Give me Devon Achane. I almost took him last time, and maybe should I have gone Damian Harris there? Probably not. No, this is a good pick. Devon Achane. So we're super loaded on rookie running backs. Go figure. 115, my 10th pick, my 4th running back, 3rd in a row. That's what I like to do. So now we're going to chill on running backs. Maybe we'll take one at the second to last round or something. Maybe get 2 more. We'll see. We've got 4 solid guys. I'm confident we'll have a role in their offense this year. Minimum 12 touches. Calling it. I mean, ramped up towards the tournament weeks. I'm saying I know James Cook can get there. Zach Charbonnet, we assume based on his college production, like I was showing in my rookie running back profile series here on the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. If you're watching this part of the video, thank you so much for watching. Welcome to the channel. Please follow, like, subscribe. And we're going to be drafting all summer. Hot best fall summer. Let's get it. So in the draft, we've got 6 until our pick. Talking about this team, we've gone through 10 players. Somehow we don't have a quarterback. Are we going 0 quarterback? This is a 0 quarterback build, apparently. 4 running backs, 5 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Really like how it looks. Strong target share throughout the receivers and tight end. I'm going to wait and go probably another tight end in the 3rd to last round, if I had to guess, see if I can match that up with the QB that I end up eventually taking I want to see, where did Anthony Richardson go? I've been trying to take note of that in these drafts. He's been going earlier and earlier. He didn't go. He went super early, didn't he? Wait a second. Huh. 3 picks away. I don't know. I don't see him on here. I guess he's on the turn and I just can't see it. Bummer. I hate how it does that. It's like cutting off a little bit of the draft board. Jared Goff goes. Not a guy that we really need. I gotta figure out where to put this mic too. It's like right in my face. Roschon Johnson just went. Dalton Schultz goes. Not a guy I want. Kirk Cousins finally goes. And I'm pretty sure it went to the Jamar Chase owner, who's just like sniping the first guy. That's kind of weird. Thielen goes. What a terrible pick. Sorry. Okay, my pick. Wide receiver Darnell Mooney. Yes. Or Antonio Gibson. Elijah Mitchell. Yes. No. Darnell Mooney. Mingo. We're going to go Mingo here. Spice it up. Could have taken a running back. Didn't have high conviction. Want to get a running back later in the draft. Can never have too many wide receivers. 2 rookie wide receivers in this case. I did accidentally just enter a brand new Carolina NFC South Conference, so there's not a lot of correlation with this last pick yet. Maybe I'm going Bryce Young with my next pick. I wouldn't hate it at this rate because I'm going pretty much 0 QB. And I don't have much. Is there Geno? I got Love still out there. Geno must have gotten drafted recently. Did Geno just go? You think I would notice these things? But did it happen at the turn? Probably. What pick did Geno go? It doesn't matter. He's gone. Not that I needed him for this team anyways, but like 6 picks away. I think it could have been a good fit. 139. 139. That'd be my 11th pick. Last pick was 126. That was my 11th pick. This is my 12th pick? Yeah, this is my 12th pick. Duh. Wide receiver 6. Carolina. But the reason I went Mingo is because he's a riser. I think his ADP is going to continue to rise all offseason. I got him, way ahead of where he should be going, but we'll see. He could end up being the number 1 receiver on his team. Where can I go New Orleans late? If I did go New Orleans late, where would I go? Nowhere fun. Juwan Johnson already gone? Hard to tell. 15 seconds. Kendre Miller, Alec Pierce, Bryce Young. I think I go Bryce Young here. Bryce Young. Did we get him? Yep. And then I don't want Derek Carr. I have no connection to Derek Carr here. All of a sudden I've got Bryce Young. And I like that. 139 Bryce Young. That's fine. He's guaranteed to be starting. He's going to give us a good ceiling output in the tournament weeks. And I was kind of conceptualizing this before this draft, saying I really probably want to target a rookie quarterback because they're a value. They're going to be starting. They're in a team that's kind of building around them, giving them weapons. But honestly, throughout the season, as we go into weeks 15, 16, 17, I want Bryce Young to be kind of coming into his ceiling fantasy points, potentially scoring rushing touchdowns, scrambling. Rookies, younger quarterbacks tend to scramble and run in the red zone, potentially could have a double scoring rushing touchdown game kind of output would be something I would want. So I'm not really going to stack them heavily. We'll see what other Carolina players I might consider. Whether it's Hayden Hurst, the tight end, that's one to consider, considering based on the fact that I have Kelsey, already have a strong tight end. So Bryce Young, interesting pick, going really rookie heavy. I'm probably going to back up on the rookies a little bit now that I've got 2 receivers, 3 running backs, and 1 quarterback, all rookies. It's pretty heavy on the rookies. Good balance overall, though, on age of players and draft class of players. I probably could go harder on some of these second-year players besides just Christian Watson and James Cook. I could lean into the Rams late. 3 picks away. Our next pick is 150. It's my 13th pick. What do I want here? Boop. So I've got 1 pick away. I've got 6 receivers. We're good. I think we can go anything we want here. And I think it's Jordan Love. But we didn't end up getting any Packers. So we can go late Packers stack. Let's do it. I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it. Elf quote. Will Ferrell, relatable. Oh, man. The number of times I watch Elf in a given Christmas season would shock you. So now we're considering going heavy into the Packers. We thought about it before. I think we're potentially good on quarterback. I want to think about that. Maybe adding one more. I have 2 pocket passers here. So leaning into some rushing upside. What would that look like? It would look like a Trey Lance. It would look like a Trey Lance, a Will Levis, another rookie. Where can I lean that's not the rookie? I don't know. Kenny Pickett? No. I think I go Trey Lance or Brock Purdy or Sam Darnold late. Sam Darnold could be interesting for early season play as Bryce Young gets up to speed. A chance he can hold the position as Brock Purdy comes back from his injury. I think Brock Purdy is the long-term answer here. If Trey Lance isn't, who knows? But we could talk into the conspiracy theories for the San Francisco backfield until the cows come home. All day long we can talk about this. Peanut butter and waivers. What's up, my man? Musgrave late. Yeah, we live. We live out here late. Been a busy week, but it's Friday. Technically not Cinco de Mayo anymore, but I'm just chilling. Hope my audio sounds good. I just set up this new setup, so I haven't really tested the audio enough. But what's up, man? Thanks for checking out the stream. Thanks for coming by. Shout out as always. Musgrave late. Yeah, definitely considering Musgrave late. I like Musgrave, but actually, what's crazy? I had Musgrave ranked as like a top 3 rookie tight end for me a really long time in this pre-draft process. And then as I started doing more tight end research, he's kind of a faller for me. And I think it's his small sample size of his production his last year, if I'm not mistaken, that kind of was off-putting to me. Although I liked his speed. I thought he could have been a little bit faster, maybe even. But the player I really liked was Tucker Kraft, who also ends up going to the Packers. So I think I'm on the Kraft train. Thor Nystrom said that Kraft was like his sleeper pick at tight end, or maybe not even his sleeper, just like one of his favorites. So we're 3 picks away, and I think I take his word to mean a lot. Which players just went recently? We had Zeke Elliott go. Interesting pick. I mean, I'm kind of on board with some of these veteran guys going super late. We'll see if one falls to us with one of our last picks. We're 2 picks away. Romeo Doubs, Wan'Dale Robinson, 2 picks away. I could go anything I want here, really. I don't think I want to go quarterback. I don't necessarily have to go running back. We can. How do I want to plan that? I think I want to go potentially 3 quarterbacks here with this build, which I don't love doing, but I'm not sure if I have enough. Okay. Michael Mayer, Gerald Everett, probably knows for me. This is pick 163. Stafford, I don't love. Jaylen Warren, it's not bad, but not really playing into this story. I think what we can do here, a little bit of Rondale Moore. Why not? Kind of a panic pick. I want to see the ADP on Rondale Moore. I don't know if he's been going in the right direction. Yeah, I took him a little bit early. I think, though, that there's potential once that quarterback, whether it's Colt McCoy or just good news about, like Kyler Murray comes out and his knee in a situation that the Cardinals offense could kind of rise back. But also, interesting, not sure. Rondale Moore, not a player I love. I don't know why I picked him there. Kind of a panic pick. Didn't really think about how that played into the storyline, although we have been going into the NFC West. So I'll put that down for my Cardinal. I almost took Kyler Murray earlier. Wide receiver 7. My pick 163. My 14th pick. Before that, we went quarterback, QB2. Teams coming together. Peanut Butter and Waver says, I'm a huge fan of Gesicki and New England with Bill O'Brien running that offense. I think that's a great point. If D-Hop gets moved, I love Moore. That's a good point for Rondale Moore. I see what you're saying there. We can talk ourselves into all of these different scenarios. I love doing that. I never close the door on any situation. I don't think that I know exactly what's going to happen in any given outcome in the NFL. I just like to kind of play the odds across all the outcomes and see what happens. And but I like to lean into certain storylines that are interesting. And Rondale Moore has been talked up for years. So maybe we're a post-hype sleeper type situation with Rondale Moore. Like I said, we're leaning into the NFC West. We've got Tyler Lockett already. We've got Charbonnet. We got Debo. And we've got opportunities still to take another receiver or 2 later. So I don't think we've closed the door on getting another Packer on this squad because we've really, although we've got Christian Watson already, we really want to stack heavily in this format and stack heavily with a pocket passer like Love, in my opinion. Stafford's still there. I don't know what I can do with Stafford this late, though. Kind of the same board I was looking at my last pick. Let's think about this one. Quarterbacks. Running back here. Running back could be appealing. I might go Leonard Fournette. Chuba Hubbard. Let's go Chuba Hubbard. Kind of a reach, yes. But this late in the draft, I'm not afraid to pick the players I think fit into my storyline. I started going down the path of a Bryce Young. Obviously, there's a Miles Sanders in this situation. But personally, Chuba Hubbard is a guy that I've kind of liked to sneak into the back of a lot of drafts. I think I probably took him too early. I probably could have got him a later pick. But 174, I don't think I have a pick for a little while here. Looks like my next pick in about 13 picks. Yeah, McKinnon, an interesting pick for sure. Getting a little bit more exposure to Kansas City. We can't forget about that. We look at Kansas City, which players are still there. Richie James, he's kind of cooled off. He had a lot more hype in the big board. Clyde Edwards, I don't know about that. Justin Ross, I'm not in. Totally forgot about Rashee Rice, and he went way earlier. McKinnon's interesting. He's technically not back on the team, or why didn't McKinnon show up? Jerick McKinnon's already been drafted. Oh, duh. That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't done a good job. I hate kind of showing the board. It's so hard to get it to fit on the screen. And usually when I draft a lot of times and I'm not streaming, I'm doing it on my phone. So the interface is just smoother for me on the phone. I'm kind of more used to that. Speaking of phone. Okay. So anyways, I picked Chuba Hubbard. He fits into the stack. He signed for sure. You're right. It was just he had already been drafted. I couldn't see him. Like I was saying, the interface for desktop, I'm a little less familiar with it just because I'm usually on my phone when I'm drafting. And took Chuba Hubbard. Plays into the storyline because we've got Panthers. He's my running back 5. I like him. He's a third-year guy. Since then, Tyquan Thornton, Michael Mayer, Tajay Spears, Curtis Samuel, Desmond Ridder goes. And then I think it's Pickett, and then Laporta, Jelani Woods, Gainwell. Let's get some more correlation going because we're starting to get to the end of our picks. I think I'm 3 picks away, and I think this late I've got 7 wide receivers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And 7. Yeah, we just wait and get a receiver with our last pick. Or do we wait? Maybe we don't wait. Maybe we get one of these Packers receivers with our next pick. Romeo Doubs is already gone. Should have seen that coming. Jayden Reed could be there. This is pick 187. That's a great spot to take Jayden Reed. Could be a spot, though, to wait on him and take the tight end here. Well, actually, their ADP's way later. Let's see. Who else is there if I don't take Jayden Reed? No, it is Jayden Reed. This is the Jayden Reed opportunity. Other than that, Marvin Mims, who I don't really need. Hunter Renfrow could be a good connection there with Kelsey, but I don't think so. I think Jayden Reed's the call. Exciting. I'm going so heavy on these rookies. It's a little bit off-putting. Getting a bad taste from how many rookies I've got. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to get closing line value on the ADP. I think the rookies will continue to rise throughout the summer. So if I take Jayden Reed here, 187, he ends up going, where I've seen maybe Dobbs was going at the height of some of the earlier drafts. I don't know, it was like the 160 range. Then we get some good closing line value there. Maybe 170 range. I forget what it was exactly. We need to link in maybe, let's see, how many picks do we have left exactly? Again, we know we've got 2 picks left, right? Coming back. And our build, 2581. We got a great build. All we need is potentially we need another running back or wide receiver, and then we're going to fit in a tight end. I think the tight end comes with the next pick potentially. So because we've got our 8 receivers, I'm feeling pretty good about it. The only other receiver I might want to stack is like KC because I've got Travis Kelce, but kind of galaxy braining. Maybe not. Maybe just think Kelce gets all of the touchdowns throughout the playoffs, whatever. Didn't really lean into Kansas as much as I wanted to. Didn't run it back. I don't think I got any players in the AFC West. Appreciate me going live so late. Man, my schedule is crazy. I'm going to get something ironed out. Check out my Twitter. You'll see an update there on like a real official streaming schedule getting into the month of May. So when the NFL drops their official schedule, I'm going to hopefully have my schedule out by then. And this is just all I could cook up this late in the week. I know it's late at night, but I like to fit things in. I'm kind of up at weird hours anyways. I've got a young child at home inside the house, and so that's keeping me up at strange hours randomly. And so I've kind of adapted, but I'm also I'll be a morning person a lot of days. I'll be a night owl kind of more rarely, but 2 picks away, 1 pick away. I think this is a great spot to go ahead and guarantee we can get one of these Packers tight ends. I think I might go Luke Musgrave or Tucker Kraft. It's a toss-up for me. Toss-up. Let's think about it. Musgrave, Kraft. We like them both. Thor likes Kraft. I like Kraft. Peanut butter and waivers. I like some Musgrave. I'm going to go Kraft just for the crazy exposure. Kind of different player. I hate taking rookie tight ends, honestly, but because it's the Packers, I've got the quarterback. I want to go hard into this narrative of Jordan Love. Um, sorry, my man. Next time we get Musgrave, we'll even out the exposure. Um, and then for running backs, I think I might be good. I need to confirm there. I've got 5 that I like. I don't want to go too many more. Could take one more rookie at the end, although I've got 3 rookies. So like, why would I double dip there? If anything, I need a guy whose closing line value is going to change a ton. And so that could be one of these veteran guys who hasn't signed yet, like Leonard Fournette. If on the comeback, Leonard Fournette is still there, I'd consider taking him. There he goes. He's gone. Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards I could take late, just kind of touchdown potential guy, but not crazy about him. I'm definitely not going to take another tight end. I'm good with 2 tight ends. Quarterback is the position I considered. I really want to lean into 2 quarterbacks. And here's what you got to do. You got to say Bryce Young's going to have a good rookie year. He's going to produce a lot of fantasy points. He might score 5 rushing touchdowns, not because he's going to rush the ball a ton, but as a younger, more nimble, scrambling kind of guy, finds his way into the end zone. I think we'll have to look back at some of the stats, but the guys like Dak Prescott early in his career, I know was kind of scrambling and scoring a lot of touchdowns. And other young guys like Pickett are finding their way into the end zone. I think Will Levis could be that guy. Actually, that's ringing a bell. Let's look at those quarterbacks right now. Perfect for your time zone, peanut butter and waivers. Your time zone, nice, man. What time zone is that? If I had to guess, I'd say maybe like in the UK or somewhere across the pond, because it's a crazy time zone. Central, it's 2 a.m. right now, Central time zone where I'm at. So let's see. Excuse me. 4 quarterbacks. Mac Jones is still there. Don't have any. Patriots. Brock Purdy, 49ers. Yeah, I've wanted Purdy. I think that's someone I could pull the trigger on. Get him with, at least with Debo there, right? How else would that fit in? Baker, don't want. Will Levis, naked Will Levis, probably don't want that. And someone took Purdy, so maybe we're not taking that 3rd quarterback like we wanted. We could easily just go Gus Edwards or Jerome Ford here. I went Gus Edwards. And it's just a late pick. Don't really have a way for that to play into this storyline. Don't love the pick. Oh, AST time zone? Nice. And kind of, as I think of the end of this draft, I could have put a little bit more thought into where we were going at the end. Maybe I was too heavily invested in getting Purdy with the last pick. If I think about it, could we have gone Darnold there? Yes, I did talk about getting Darnold earlier. It's not the best stack tie-in, though. If we look, we only had really one player, we tie into that. So I don't hate it. I've been intending to go more 2 quarterback, 2 tight end. So this is good. I'm a little bit on the fence about how I feel with the running backs. I was intending to go lighter on the running back side, but at the same time, a little bit more of a kind of waiting on them. I think I did a good job of getting guys I like here with the running backs. So overall, quarterback grade, I'm going to go C+ on this. Let's cross our fingers that the rookie class, really comes and shows out. Bryce Young does something good in Carolina. Prefers Darnold over Purdy at the moment, says Peanut Butter and Waivers. Yeah, I kind of have been back and forth throughout the season on all of the quarterbacks in the Bay Area. Trey Lance is probably the one I'm the coldest on, although I see his upside being very high. Purdy, I think is great. I just want the best for his health. I don't know if this is the season for him, so I'm cooling off on Purdy. I've got him in Dynasty, though, which is pretty sweet. I've actually got Sam Darnold in Dynasty, too. Had him previously, and then now he's on the Niners. It's like increasing his value. It's pretty sweet. So I think the NFC West, the 49ers, the Seahawks, right, the Cardinals and the Rams are kind of one of those conferences or those divisions
that people aren't really super excited about right now. And okay, I think the draft is over, so we should be able to see the full team, but we got it here. So I think that's a conference that I'm leaning into a little bit, and I like to take players from and stack them up around. Let's look at the team. 2 quarterbacks. Like I said, C+. Hopefully the rookies show out. Jordan Love can do something. We actually leaned pretty hard into the Packers. Didn't expect that, kind of a later half of the draft thing, but I like how it ended up because we got a lot of good correlation with one of our earlier picks, Jahmyr Gibbs, running back, Detroit. I think he's going to be electric. I think he's going to be a home run hitter, high touchdown scoring guy in this offense. I think the potential's there. 12, 15 touches, but high value, high kind of like really good touches you want. And hopefully as a rookie, he kind of ascends throughout the season and handles more workload, develops, all that good stuff. All of that to say, I like the interplay between potentially a Jordan Love Green Bay Packers quarterback and a running back on a team like the Lions. They could be playing in weeks 15, 16, or 17, or at least throughout the season. A lot of good competition, high-scoring games for those. We've got James Cook, and James Cook's a player I went and took kind of halfway into the draft because earlier I'd taken Jalen Waddle. I really like leaning into the Bills and the Dolphins. It worked out good last year. Worked out well for me, I should say, last year. So that's what we did there. Zach Charbonnet, a player I'm super high on. I've done like some videos on Zach Charbonnet. I've got my little like production profile stuff and some shorts I did on him. I really like Zach Charbonnet, player that I think like even with the limited touches can do something kind of exciting in any given week, any given game. Can have a huge breakaway run and might have a good floor because of his reception totals. I'm predicting I need to fix my model and I need to tweak a few things, spend a little more time with some of the things I'm looking at in target share, especially on the running back side, and how that kind of is weighted maybe a little bit too strong in my model right now. But that's why it really likes Zach Charbonnet, because he's catching like 3.4 receptions last year at UCLA per game. And I think, just throwing it out there, but a projection for him could be something like 12, 14 rushing attempts per game, at peak workload, with sprinkle in 2 to 3 receptions on top of that. It's pretty sweet. It could look really, really good in that offense. Man, I could talk all day about Zach Charbonnet. Devon A-Chain. I think I got him at ADP. He's going to keep rising. I think it's a good pick. I also got a little bit of value on Charbonnet. James Cook was kind of at AP, not a ton of value. I did get good value on Gibbs. I've been seeing Gibbs going in like the late 20s, early 30s. So I love getting Gibbs here at 43. Take that all day. All right, A-Chain ties in nicely with Cook and Waddle. Boom. And I'm high on him, even though, a little bit of bias, a little bit of favoritism, a little bit of Homer, Texas Longhorn bias against an Aggie. But hey, it's all love. All brotherly love in the Longhorn State, so and a little bit of SEC, future SEC love there. So I don't mind the pick. Later on in the draft, we took a break on running backs for a while and came back. Gibbs at 43, smash every time. 100% agree. Let's see if we can get a little bit more Gibbs. I have a ton of Gibbs. I think Gibbs was my number one exposure in the big boards, which I didn't do a ton of big boards because I was kind of wetting my feet and seeing what my appetite was going to be for the tournaments. I knew I wanted to get into Best Ball Mania, and so I didn't know how hard I was going to hit the big board. Didn't do a ton of drafts. I think I ended up doing like 12 for Superflex. I actually still need to get that content out. I have like some summaries I put together, and it's not going to be this weekend because I'm traveling. I'm going to Dallas tomorrow, Texas, and probably when I get back into it, once the excitement from the puppy closes and we're looking for something else to do, I'll probably get that Superflex data back out. But I got a ton of Charbonnet and a ton of Gibbs in the big board. Didn't get a lot of A-Chain in the big board. He's been a riser going into the month of April and May. So Chuba Hubbard, we got Chuba Hubbard later in the draft. And it's a good correlation play because we also later in the draft ended up getting Bryce Young. So we had gone dry on running backs since pick 115. We maybe reach, look at that, 20 picks and against ADP for Chuba Hubbard. But yeah, I remember Chuba Hubbard usually does go around pick 200, even last year. So maybe that is a bit of a reach. I like the correlation. I'm willing to vouch for it. And I think the clock was like running out too. And there weren't a lot of other running backs we liked there anyways. Also, I can talk up this Carolina Panthers offensive line all day long. And they keep just investing into it. It's one of the best offensive lines in the league, right? Miles Sanders is there, acknowledged. But Chuba Hubbard, he finds a way to get the work, even when Christian McCaffrey was there. And I know it was injury-related, but Chuba was still filling in, getting the work. Proven he can do it. I like that for a later pick. Rounding out the running backs, Gus Edwards, kind of a scramble pick. The main reason I took Gus Edwards was the ADP value. So his current ADP is about 105. Got him at 205. Got him at 211. That's 6 picks of ADP on top and makes me feel good. He doesn't really correlate, but gives us a little bit more running back depth and doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt to spend a little bit more capital on running back at the end. I definitely didn't feel like this was a team that needed 9 wide receivers because we did smash receivers and tight end early, starting out with Kelsey. So we didn't get the most receiver early or like wide receiver heavy early that I've ever been, and that tends to happen when you go Kelsey. But it is pretty sweet that we got Christian Watson at pick 54. Going back to the running backs, based on the Jahmyr Gibbs ADP, based on the reach for Chuba Hubbard, based on the Gus Edwards value, even though it's not correlated, but heavily exposed to the rookies and got a second-year guy, I'm going to give the running backs for going late running back, which is my goal at this point in drafting the season. I'm high on this group. I'm going to give it a B+. I think this is a good group. I think this is what I wanted. I wouldn't give it an A because it probably could correlate better. And we'll get that ironed out with some more of these puppy drafts. We're going to do a ton of puppies. Wide receivers, let's get into it. There is, what do we got? 8 wide receivers? Lost track of count of them. Yeah, 8, of course. Jalen Waddle, Deebo Samuel, Christian Watson. Love that top 3. It's top heavy. Ended up getting Tyler Lockett. To round it out, I've loved taking Tyler Lockett all season, all summer. Jalen Waddle, pick 19, right at ADP. Deebo Samuel, pick 30, ADP 35. I'm higher on Deebo Samuel than everyone else is right now because I think I'm higher on the NFC West, like I mentioned a few times, and so I'm leaning into that. We'll note that as well, though, that what would it take for Deebo Samuel to actually be pick 30? It's going to take everyone kind of ignoring quarterbacks, letting the quarterbacks fall. Maybe letting the tight ends fall a little bit, and maybe letting running backs. All the other positions would have to fall. I'm not sure if he'll get down to 30 in ADP. So, moving on to Christian Watson, this is probably one of the best picks of the draft as well in my mind. And the reason we pivoted at this point in the draft to going and leaning into the NFC North. So at this point, we had just taken Jahmyr Gibbs, NFC North Detroit at pick 43. We come back a bit later. At pick 43, we could have had Christian Watson if I reached on him, ADP 46. But look, he's still there at pick 54. Freaking sweet value. Take it all day long, right? That's 8 picks of value. Love it. Makes up for the Deebo Samuel almost immediately because this early in the draft, this is the 5th round, right? So the 5th round versus I took Deebo in the 3rd round. 5 picks versus 8 picks. It's almost fair. Kind of makes up for it. I think Tyler Lockett was a solid pick at about ADP. Jordan Addison was a solid pick at about ADP. He's really risen a ton lately, Jordan Addison. And that also kind of lines up Jordan Addison with our slant into this NFC North, right? And so maybe it's the Vikings that the Packers are playing in week 16 or 17 that I care about. And Jordan Addison, late in the season, he's coming into his own. He's demanding 7-8 targets a game. That would be pretty sweet. And we've seen what a guy like KJ Osborne can do late in the season. It's impressive the kind of per like spike week that they can have in that Vikings offense. So we didn't go Kirk Cousins. We had a few opportunities to go Kirk Cousins in this draft. Not a quarterback I want to reach on. I'm just as good ending up with Jordan Love and Bryce Young and hoping that there's some, combination of them that gets me as many points as a Kirk Cousins than, particularly in this build, I think, because I just don't have Justin Jefferson or Hawkinson and I don't have a Dalvin Cook. And I feel like if it would take, if it's going to be Minnesota contributing a lot of points, it would take those guys probably more than it would having an almost naked Kirk Cousins. All of that to say, we also had a bit of a gap there. So our first, we took a nice stretch of wide receivers. Pick 78, we got Addison. Took Jonathan Mingo, pick 126, ADP 144. So we've got some explaining to do. That's almost 20 picks. Well, Jonathan Mingo correlates with our quarterback. We didn't pick until later, but pretty soon after that. And we had seen Bryce Young down the board. We knew he was the target quarterback potential. I'm higher on Bryce Young. I'm higher on the NFC South. People are down in the NFC South. I think the NFC South is fine. I mean, I don't love it. I don't love leaning all the way in. I'm not sold on Tampa Bay, which is crazy because I love Chris Godwin. I love Mike Evans historically. But Bryce Young, so we saw him coming, thought it was a potential guy we could take. And I'm higher on Mingo. I think Mingo's going to keep rising. Can he rise 20 spots? Of course he can, because any pick after 100, you can rise up a round or two. So this would require Mingo rising not 2 full rounds, but if he rose a round and a half, we'd feel good about this ADP. And then the correlation there that plays out with the Panthers team. At least I would. Next up, took Rondale Moore. This was not next pick necessarily, but pick 163, got Rondale Moore. Also about 9 picks ahead of ADP. So I'm scratching my head there. I was kind of flustered, had to just kind of scramble, pick Rondale Moore. A little bit of correlation with the NFC West, so I don't mind it. We could have Rondale Moore getting more opportunities if Hopkins gets traded. And so there's some good interplay here. And it gives me a little bit of exposure there in case something crazy happens with my Seahawks in those final weeks and they're playing the Cardinals, right? Gives me an out. Last wide receiver, number 8, Jayden Reed. I think this is a sweet pick. I mean, his ADP is still at 191. I got him at 187, but I'm getting more familiar with Jayden Reed, not a player that I had done a ton of research on going into the draft. The capital that he got and where he went in the draft was a little bit surprising to me, in a good way though, because I'm rooting for the guy. I think historically we've seen the wide receivers and the rookie wide receivers in Green Bay come on a little bit slower. I don't know if that's a Aaron Rodgers thing, if that's just their building type of thing. But last year we had, a little bit of a forced opportunity for Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, and they stepped up and did just fine. If Jayden Reed can have 1-2 games or even just correlate in the playoffs with our Jordan Love quarterback pick, I think this pays off. So I don't hate this pick at all. I think it will flip. I think the ADP is going to end up being around 170, easily 175 for Jayden Reed. We'll get a little bit of closing line value on that. So I'm going to incorporate that he's going to jump up maybe a round and a half into my grading of the wide receivers here. Overall, I'm going to give this group of 8 wide receivers, it's a little top heavy, good correlation at the end. I don't know, B-. Man, I got a good scratch in my throat there. I hope that muted. Whew. I don't know if it actually did mute. New mic. But I had a scratch there in my throat. Had to get some water. So B minus for the receivers, top heavy, kind of like a good correlation. We'll see. Have to give the tight ends an A because anytime you get Travis Kelce, it's an A. You want to draft a player in a small field tournament like Kelce because of the leg up that he gives you. Obviously, I think Kelce can help advancing and getting into the playoffs. But even in the playoff weeks, I think that's where he shines. So I've done a lot of research lately on team builds using 4for4's sweet roster construction tool. Sam Hoppen was sending that out in some links on Twitter earlier today. He's been updating it, and it's sweet. And I've been looking at like, what does it look like to be a 2 quarterback build versus 3, a 2 tight end build versus 3 tight end build, or even I looked a lot at solo quarterback and solo tight end because there were some teams that advanced to the playoffs last year in Best Ball Mania that were solo QB using Josh Allen. Solo tight end teams didn't work out so well. Solo quarterback's very interesting, something you can definitely pull off with an elite quarterback, and then you draft like 8 to 10 wide receivers, and I think it's like 6 to 8 running backs, and so you can get really deep on the running backs. I think it was 7 running backs maybe, but it was really interesting builds, and overall, I think if you're going to have Travis Kelce, just take a shot on any tight end. It doesn't matter. And so I went for correlation. Technically, I don't need any games out of him, but if it comes to the playoffs and our Jordan Love, ceiling game is 2 touchdowns to Tucker Kraft, we win the ship. It'd be pretty sweet. So overall, I give this team, it's really rookie heavy, which I don't love. I mean, I love these rookies, but I don't love being overexposed in a single draft of this many. I've got 3 rookie wide receivers, although they are all pretty sweet. 1 rookie tight end. I hate drafting rookie tight ends. Correlation's nice, though. 3 rookie running backs. These actually are the running backs I like, and I think I got great value on all of them. So that's probably the group I have no regrets about. And then quarterback, we'll see. I think the way we could have improved this draft, taken 1 less running back or even 1 less wide receiver at some point, flip that into either a third QB potentially or not, or just having taken maybe a QB earlier could have helped us out. I was eyeballing some at the beginning. We skipped a few. Could have taken Matt Stafford, but I don't think that would have helped this team, honestly. And I didn't really feel like pivoting and going Rams late. Well, that was a fun draft. Let's see if I have any other picks. I've got a ton of slow drafts going. Yeah, I've got 9 hours left on this pick. I'll make this pick live. Why not? Keep it going. Enter my draft. I hope I'm not exposing all my my tabs and stuff. I always, when I'm like showing Underdog on desktop, I'm always cautious what I'm actually showing. Dang, this is my first puppy draft. So this one's a slow draft. I will admit I do partake on some slow drafts because of my odd schedule and timing and responsibilities, being a parent. So I can't always do fast drafts. That's why I'm also like drafting in the weirdest hours right now. But I'll throw in some slows just to get myself getting more drafts and to stay thinking about ADP. And I think it's fun. So don't hate on the slow drafts. We exist and we have feelings, slow drafters. And obviously I'm going to do more fast drafts too. We'll stream those. So I think the obvious pick, I ended up getting the 8th overall pick. This is my first puppy. It literally just got to my pick. Look, Sam Hoppin's in this one. So is MSOS. Some guys we know. Nice. Peanut Butter and Waver's going to draft in like an hour. I'm going to bed at this point, and it just started pouring raining. I think there's going to be some thunderstorms in Texas over the next 24 hours. But I'm going to bed soon. Going to go crash. I'll make this pick live. 8th pick, Bijan went. I wish I would have gotten Bijan. Sam got Jamar Chase. MSOS got Travis Kelce. I'm going to go A.J. Brown. I love starting A.J. Brown. Gives you so many awesome, like, down the draft board, like, oh, do I want to get more Eagles? Stack them up. Do I want to go Cowboys? I haven't done a ton of Cowboys yet. I think going into the Giants is really fun. And there's a lot of good NFC East players who go in the first 3 rounds. And so it's like a fun early correlation play. Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, all these other guys. Saquon Barkley. And then later you can get guys like on the Commanders. So that's it for today. We did an hour and 20-minute stream. Peanut Butter and Waivers, MVP. Thanks for watching, man. We'll catch you later. We'll see you online on Twitter, Discord, etc. I'll be doing some more live streams. I don't know what my hours are going to be. I do love doing some night owl stuff, and I think on the weekends I will end up doing some of these kind of night owl streams. Can you hear that? That's the rain. I'm literally in the garage. This is literally the fantasy football garage, and it's raining, and you can probably hear it. Well, good stuff. It's been a good week. It's been a week since the draft. The draft was amazing. And I'm going to Dallas tomorrow, but I'll be on Twitter. I'll be posting some more content. I'll try to make some shorts out of this video. I'm probably going to go download it, post some shorts, get that going. Be back with the stream schedule next week. Shout out to PB and W. Shout out to anyone watching this later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following. Thanks. Please subscribe, like, comment. Let me know. We're going to do more puppies. We're going to do more Best Ball Mania. Just getting started. It's all great stuff. Catch y'all next time.